checking in on new head coaches, what head coaches in college football that are new, that had good off seasons, that had bad off seasons. We're going to check in on, I think, 5 or 6 new head coaches, and we're going to kind of get the temperature of how we're feeling about these head coaches and their teams currently, starting off with Florida and John Sumrall. John Sumrall is doing phenomenal at Florida. Like, he's coming off the number 3 ranked recruiting class, or he has currently the number 3 ranked recruiting class for 2027, which is just insane. It's amazing in year one. Like, that is phenomenal to have in year one as of right now. That could change. Florida, also $1.5 billion, we'll round up, $1.5 billion renovation to the Swamp. So you can already see that they are looking at John Sumrall saying, that's our guy, man. We're going to put all our ducks or all our eggs in one basket. I totally butchered that saying. We're going to put all our eggs in one basket, and it's the John Sumrall basket. Like, we're all in on John Sumrall in 2026 and beyond. Like, that's their guy, and they know that that's their guy. I know that that's their guy, so they're all in on John Sumrall. What he needs to do in year one is stabilize the program, and that's what he's doing, man. He's stabilizing the program, and he's done a great job of it. I like where they're at. He's the perfect guy for this job. Their schedule is pretty tough. Like, they got some tough games. They got Ole Miss. They got Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma. They got Vanderbilt. It's not going to be an easy game. So they got some tough games, but they got a lot of winnable games. This schedule, if you're really good, this schedule is 8-4 worthy, 100%. But if you're not on your A game, his schedule is also 6-6 worthy. So whatever happens, as long as John Sumrall can stabilize the program, make a solid bowl game in 2026, is a success for Florida. All right, next I wanted to jump into Auburn and Alex Golesh. So Alex Golesh is replacing Hugh Freeze, obviously. He's the former USF head coach, former Tennessee offensive coordinator. He went 23-15 at USF. He rebuilt that program so quick. That's one of the things I admired about Alex Golesh. He's a great program builder. He built USF up to a top-tier program in G5 ranks. They were pushing for a playoff spot. They were pushing for the American Championship. Like, this team was really, really, really good. The massive roster of turnover, by the way, nearly 40 departing players from Auburn. So to have 40 departing players and still hopefully put together a good season is really good. He's building Auburn around portal additions this year to kind of get them going at a fast pace. They're bringing in some experience back to the Plains. Everything's looking up for Auburn at this point. So I'm definitely stock for Auburn is definitely neutral. Like, I'm not buying stock in Auburn, like more stock. I think we're just neutral right now. We're okay with where we're at. That we're not exceeding expectations and we're not below expectations. We're just neutral right now. We're hitting where we want to be right now for Auburn and Alex Golesh. So that's Auburn, and that is Alex Golesh. Schedule, again, isn't the toughest thing in the world. So Auburn looks like a solid team in 2026, hopefully. Next up is Kentucky and Will Stein. He's a former Oregon offensive coordinator. The narrative, Kentucky narrative with deep family ties to the program. So Will Stein's got some family ties to the program. But man, I love this fit. Like, this is one of the best fits in terms of, potential. Like, when you look at what they had in Mark Stoops and you look at what they now have in Will Stein, bringing in a younger offensive-minded guy, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Kentucky. Really excited for Will Stein. Recruiting momentum has been strong. They're putting together a great class. I believe it's a top 20 class as of right now. Early recruiting classes have generated, a lot of optimism. And I am definitely on the side of optimism for them. ESPN ranked, right here, I wrote it down. ESPN ranked Stein among the better hires of the cycle. Just saying, Will Stein at Kentucky, I'm definitely, stock is definitely rising for me. So, in terms of stock, I have it at the rising. I mean, can Kentucky finally become more than a 7-8 win program? That's my question. Can Kentucky finally be a college football playoff contending program? Not this year, but maybe in 2, 3, 4 years. Can they be there? Can they finally get over the hump? That's my question that I have. I think if they're going to do it, Will Stein's the guy, in my opinion. All right. Next, I wanted to touch on Virginia Tech and James Franklin. So Virginia Tech and James Franklin are a team that look really good. Like, Virginia Tech looks like a top team or top contender in the ACC. Will they? I don't know, but they for sure will look like it. He's a former Penn State coach, as we know. He's got a career record of 128-60 as a head coach. James Franklin does. So recruiting has exploded since his arrival, by the way. Like, Virginia Tech recruiting has been phenomenal. James Franklin's done a great job there. Can't wait to see what he does there even further down the road for years to come. I mean, the Hokies have generated major momentum on the trail. Like, this team just looks really good. National analysis believe Virginia Tech can become a top 20 program again. That's a quote, and man, I cannot be more excited for this Virginia Tech team and there's so much optimism for this team. Like, there's no reason not to be optimistic for this team. So my stock for them is a strong, strong buy. Like, there's no way you're selling on Virginia Tech right now. It's a strong buy for me. Can Franklin restore what Virginia Tech should be? Virginia Tech was a national powerhouse back in the day. Can James Franklin be the guy to bring them back? I think he definitely can be. All right, next I wanted to touch on Michigan and Kyle Whittingham. That's what I wanted to touch on next. Here's the thing. Michigan looks really good. Their team looks good. Their roster looks good. Their program looks good. And they're not under any NCAA sanctions anymore. They are done with that. We're finally out of that era. And I got to say, Sharon Moore's departure could not be better for Michigan. Kyle Whittingham has a career record of 177-88 as a coach, which is just phenomenal to have almost 200 wins. He brought several trusted Utah assistants with him. He bought a lot. He finally brought a quarterbacks coach, by the way, for Bryce Underwood, which is great. Can't wait for that addition. I mean, Michigan added a lot of transfers as well. At this point, year one for Kyle Whittingham needs to be stabilize the program and contend for a playoff spot. We don't need to make the playoff in year one, but we want to be there in the end in the top 25, and we need to stabilize our program. That's what Kyle Whittingham needs to do at Michigan. So for my stock for Kyle Whittingham, it's definitely rising. My stock for Kyle Whittingham is definitely rising. They got a decently tough schedule. And they got to play Oklahoma. They got to play Penn State. They got to play Iowa. They got to play Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State. Tough schedule, but I think this team's going to be. I think Kyle Whittingham's the coach to bring this team back to a national level like they were in 2023. Next up is Penn State and Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell's a guy that I think is going to be a phenomenal coach. I think he's the right fit. Like, this guy's the right fit for this head coaching position at Penn State to take over for James Franklin, former Iowa State head coach. He became the 17th head coach in December of 2025 for Penn State. It's not that many coaches for Penn State, which is a good sign because Matt Campbell's a guy that doesn't like to leave. So if you're not going to fire him, he's not going to leave. That's my take. Like, Matt Campbell's going to be here for years and years and years. Might be the next, Nick Saban in terms of, or Kyle Whittingham in terms of length of being at a team. Like, I'm confident in Matt Campbell being here in 10 years. I just am. As for, the overhaul of staff, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with a lot of the players coming in from Iowa State. Former Iowa State quarterback Rocco Becht is back. He is really good. He's really experienced. I'm excited for him. I hope that Penn State can be back to a top recruiting powerhouse. They already are a top 20 class for 2027. So this team's looking up. I'm excited for Penn State in 2026. My stock for them is slightly up. I'm not super boosted right now. I'm slightly up. They got a very relatively easy schedule. They got versus USC and at Michigan as their toughest games, back to back, by the way. And they have an 8-day week before they play USC and Michigan, and then they got Purdue, and then they play at Washington, and that's like it. That's like they got 3 tough games, and that's it. So this is a 10-2 schedule for Penn State. 9-3, I think at this point, is probably their worst case scenario, which is crazy to say. So Penn State's a team that's going to be phenomenal in 2027 or 2026. Next up, and lastly, is LSU and Lane Kiffin. LSU has been phenomenal under Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's been a great quarterback, or a great head coach. He's bringing in 2 new quarterbacks, Sam Leavitt, Hussein Longstreet. Sam Leavitt's going to start this year. Brought in Jordan Seaton, a couple defensive pieces. Like, he's bringing in 40 new transfers. The question is, do all these transfers gel? That's the only question I think that we have about this LSU team. And well, I can give you an answer real quick and say, yes, they're going to gel. When's the last time Lane Kiffin didn't bring in a ton of transfers when he was at Ole Miss? Lane Kiffin's always been a transfer portal heavy guy. So I have a lot of confidence in him getting these 40 transfers to really gel. Like, I'm not scared of this big number. I'm actually embracing it because they brought in a lot of key pieces on this team. One of the biggest coaching hires of this cycle in 2027 or 2026. He's going to be one of the best coaches in the SEC, in my opinion. He's completely rebuilding the staff in a good way. Kept Blake Baker, which was good. That guy's a great defensive coordinator. Brought in Charlie Weiss as offensive coordinator. Expectations are immediately college football playoff level. Like, I'm talking, they are in the mix in the college football playoff. That's the expectations. Now, if they go under that, me personally, I'm not mad. A solid 9-3 isn't bad, especially with their schedule. Like, a 9-3 in this schedule is pretty good. Like, I'll read you off their games. Clemson, at Ole Miss, Texas A&M. They got Alabama, Texas, at Tennessee. That's a tough schedule. If you can go 10-2, that's amazing. If you can go 9-3, that's good. So LSU's a team I think will be in the top 25 at the end of the year in the mix for the playoff. If they make the playoff, even better. But I'm not going to quite put that expectation on them as for year one. But man, excited to see what Lane Kiffin's going to do in 2026. I'm excited what he could do in 2027 and beyond. Like, I'm talking years to come. My stock for them is very high. I'm buying all the LSU stock that I can. LSU and Lane Kiffin need to prove me wrong, basically is what I'm saying. Like, I want to be proved wrong. I don't want to be the type of person that doesn't see this coming. I don't want to be the person in October or in early November, that says, man, LSU is one loss team and they're pushing for a playoff spot. I don't want to be the guy that's like, darn, wish I would have bought stock in this team. I want to be the guy that says, I told you so. That's what I want to be. So my take for this team is my stock in them is very, very, very high, and I'm buying stock in LSU as fast as I can. So that is my full head coach, new head coach check-ins. Comment below what coaches you think I should do next. Comment below if you want to see a part 2 of this. And let me know what you thought of these head coaches. Which coaches are you buying stock in? Which coaches are you selling stock in? Which teams are you buying stock in? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you disagreed even. And then get in the comments and let me know why you disagreed. I love talking with you guys in the comments. So yeah, that is my full head coach check-in with new head coaches for 2026.